Hiya! Nuss Hyena here, and do you notice anything different about me? You probably do, because I am a 3D model of my persona in virtual reality. Yay! So I finally jumped on the virtual reality train. Furries have been on VRchat for at least 4 years now, hanging out with one another in virtual spaces across different parts of the globe. Virtual reality is a new way of connecting with each other from the comfort of our own homes. I could be standing in VRchat and be talking to someone from Europe and Australia, and they all feel like they're only a couple of feet away from me. And we see each other gesturing and talking to one another, so it is the most fun, immersive way to have a conversation with someone else without being in the same room with them. Like, you can jump on Discord and talk to someone, or you can even go on a Zoom and see someone's face, but there's nothing quite like interacting with someone as if they are physically present. That is the magic and wonder of virtual reality. So what I wanted to do for this video is give you 7 reasons why furries should get into VR. Before I get into the reasons, I want to real quickly talk about my virtual reality setup. My headset is a Vive Cosmos, which I found for about $250 secondhand. I found a deal on a gaming laptop, so I have a 3070 graphics card, which is very good for running VR. I was able to handle rooms full of 25 people with virtually no lag. So that was really awesome and helps to have a good internet connection. And my avatar was custom commissioned from Husky. I'll put his socials below. Now, I don't currently have full body tracking. So what that means is the only things that move based on my human movements are my arms and of course my mouth in VR, because it's picking up on how much volume I'm speaking at and adjusting the mouth accordingly, which is pretty darn cool, actually. Alright, that's enough intro. I'm going to get into the 7 reasons why furries should get into virtual reality. Starting off with reason number 1, the most immersive furry experience. So in VRchat, there are worlds that are 100% furries. So for example, you go to the furry karaoke world. It's completely made by furries, and everyone you will see in these spaces are furries with custom avatars or retextured avatars of their own fursonas. When you log in, you choose an avatar that will embody all of your movements and gestures, and you will hang out with a bunch of other furries who are doing exactly the same thing. If you want to be an anthro, look like an anthro, and hang out with other anthros, Furry VRchat is a perfect place to do so. And there's an added bonus when you can see yourself in the mirror and see yourself gesture. It is a very similar high to looking at yourself in fursuit. It's just another way that you can embody your fursona. Number 2 reason why furries should get into VR. It's a great way to socialize. We're all drawn to furry as we want to express ourselves as an anthro. And we also join furry because we want to meet other like-minded people. And in the 5 years or so that furries have been in VRchat, furries have realized that VR is a way to meet new people. I hear of so many people who made their first furry friends ever in VR, and then later on they went and hung out at a physical convention. Or I hear people who are a bit more introverted or have some social anxiety come onto VR and make a bunch of friends because we are in this very fun, welcoming environment where everybody looks like an anthro. So some of the spaces you can socialize in include furry-specific worlds. There are meets organized in Telegram groups and on Twitter. There are dance music nights where a bunch of DJs play their music through virtual reality. And of course, there are furry conventions in VR as well. So the latest Furality, which is the biggest convention in VR, broke the all-time attendance record out of all furry cons. So the fact that 15,000 people went into VR to hang out with one another on a weekend shows that there is a lot of social opportunities in furry spaces. So if you don't have a lot of in-person social interactions with furries, you can actually get a lot of socializing in here. And in just my first 20 hours or so in VR, I have already made new friends that I probably wouldn't have met if I was just going to a physical convention. So basically, Furry VR creates more opportunities and spaces for furs to hang out and connect with one another. And that's what the community has always been about. Furry started on the internet through IRC chats and Usenet message boards. Furry started because enough people got together and said, hey, I have the same interests as you. Let's get to know each other and hang out. And the VR community in Furry is growing. So if you're looking for new furry social opportunities and you haven't tried VR yet, try it. I know you will have a lot of fun there. The next reason furries should get into virtual reality is it's relatively easy to get into. Now, not everyone is going to agree with me on this, but the usual way to jump in the deep end and just go all out in being a furry is to go to physical conventions. Now, here's the problem. What if you don't live anywhere near a convention, or you live in a country that only may have one convention a year? What do you do the rest of the time? Well, okay, there's meets, but what if you don't live anywhere near physical meets? All I'm saying is that virtual reality creates social opportunities year in, year out, and also 24/7 to hang out with other furries. So yes, your initial investment of having a VR headset can cost you some money, and of course you can go into VRchat on desktop mode, but if you do take a liking to it and the social environments there, typically the next step is to purchase a headset. Because a headset gives you that immersive experience where you can look around and see all your friends are furries and they can see that you're a furry too. Now yes, I know not everyone is in the financial position, but all I'm saying is that if you spend money on a headset, you will have tons of social opportunities that aren't dependent on your geographic location. And the cost of owning a headset is going down. If you are willing to take a risk on the secondhand market of VR headsets, you can get something pretty good. I got my headset, which works pretty well, not perfect as you can see, for $250. It retails for about $700. So as a place to start, you can get a headset for not too much. There are Quests, I hear it has some issues, but it really is the best starter VR headset, and I don't believe you need a gaming PC to operate it. It's a standalone headset. And I'll talk about this more in another video, but it might be the best option possible, and hey, it gets your foot in the door and makes you able to hang out with other furries in VR.
Biggest thing about Quest is not everyone's avatar will be compatible with your headset, just to let you know.
Number 4 reason why you should get into VR, it's just a ton of fun, it seriously is. But even outside all of the fun things you can do in VRchat, there are other games in VR that you can get. Like Beat Saber is very popular, and that is such a fun way to get some exercise in. I've spent a couple of hours in there, and it's always been a great workout and a really fun time. And then of course, in VRchat, there are just tons of fun worlds with activities. Some people have made an Among Us world, people have made a flight simulator world, people have put blood, sweat, and tears into making these worlds for free that people can attend to have fun in. Because that is really one of the biggest driving motivators of the virtual reality community, is to make VR more fun to be in. And because they've had 4 or 5-ish years to figure everything out, there are established worlds where there are just cool activities. There are fun, silly meme worlds. There's worlds where you can drift cars. And then of course you have custom-made worlds that might not be on forever. Number 5 reasons why furries should join virtual reality. It is a great way to keep in touch with people. So this is more for people who are socially established. I've been to a bunch of conventions, but I can't go to every convention. And until VR, that was the only way I could see a lot of my friends. But now that I have a headset and a VRchat account, I can now hang out with my friends from across the country, but all in the same world or room. I think one of the biggest reasons why I did get a headset was to put myself out of my comfort zone and kind of force myself to socialize more. And one of the coolest features about VRchat is you can join your friends. So if a friend asked to join right now, they could come and hang out with me right here. And that's exactly what happened the last time I tried to film this video. I started this list, but I had my statuses online and a bunch of friends asked to join, and of course they came in and we had a fun, nice little beach party. It was really fun. And I have to say, without VR, I wouldn't have had those memories of being able to catch up with my dearly beloved friends who I hang out with at conventions, but now I actually get to see more of them because I am in VR. Number 6 reason why furries should get into virtual reality is the community is growing. Now, for a lot of people, the growth of the community isn't the most important thing, it's the quality of the experiences. But I think the VR community and furry growing is important because it gives people an extra excuse to jump in. If you can see that a lot of your friends are in VR, that's a really nice excuse to hang out. It's like if your friends are going to the same bar every weekend, eventually you want to join up as well. And that's really what Furry VR facilitates. So the latest Furality hit 15,000 attendees, which means more people gathered that weekend in VR than the largest in-person furry convention, which was MFF 2019. Shout out to MFF because I was there too. And I have to say, both MFF 2019 And Furality Aqua 2022 had this excitement, this tangible excitement, and this buzz. Everyone was so excited to be part of something big. And that's one of the reasons why y'all should come in to VR if you haven't already. You are going to be part of something that's growing. I think virtual reality is already becoming just a part of how we socialize as furries. I'll give you an anecdote. When I was at TFF this year, hanging out in rooms with friends and people I just met, I would survey rooms asking who's in VR. And pretty much every time I asked it, everyone in the room except myself was in virtual reality. Now, of course, this is only my experience, and there are plenty of furries who haven't even tried on a headset. But the point is that it's growing, and a virtual FurryCon being the largest con ever shows how much potential there is in these spaces and how much everything's growing. Furries naturally want to gravitate to where the people are because we are in this fandom to connect with other furries. And because so many furries are flocking to VR, Furality grew by 50% attendance from the last one. It's just one data point, but it shows that there is this increased interest in VR. And I know there's a lot of people who bought stuff for VR just so that they could hang out with their friends in Furality. And for me, Furality was my first virtual reality event ever, and I felt like I was welcomed with open arms, and people were so friendly, and I think that's a really good reason why you should join too. If people are really damn friendly and welcoming to newcomers, that's gonna be a really positive experience. And reason number 7 that furries should get into virtual reality. There are physical and mental health benefits. So a lot of this is anecdotal, although there are people studying the health benefits of VR. I think having this opportunity for connection in your home with people from around the globe and fellow furries, it just leads to better mental health outcomes. There's a very strong correlation between having regular, meaningful social contact and having great health outcomes. And that's not just mental health, that's physical health too. I live in a part of Ohio where there aren't really furries around where I live, and I do get that sense of social isolation sometimes. But for me, virtual reality has become this complete game changer because now I can see my friends from different parts of the country and I don't have to leave the state just to hang out with them for a weekend. I can hang out with them in VR as well, on top of the other places that we may meet IRL. VR is just gonna be really damn good for my sanity. I can tell. I even tweeted it because it is hard to have really close friends and only be able to see them a couple of times a year. When you have this opportunity through a headset, being able to see your friends and see how they move and hear how they talk, it does make me feel really, really connected. And virtual reality is going to be part of how we socialize in the future anyways. I don't know if it's going to take on these particular forms of headsets. Maybe the headsets will get smaller. Maybe the technology will be tweaked where the feel of VR is a little different. Socializing with others from home in VR is going to be part of how we communicate to one another. Just like how now everyone's staring at their phones. I mean, 15 years ago, social media was barely a thing, and now it's this dominant part of our daily lives. And the fact that there's being this tech change where we can see each other more, because I think that's a really important part about socializing, is seeing the other person. Yes, you can see them through a Zoom call, but physically having someone in the same space, it feels even more connected of a conversation. And I can say with 100% certainty, since I've bought this headset, my mental health has been so much better. I've already kind of been on a nice upswing mentally in terms of how I've been feeling, but VR has really been this game changer. I really just have this support network, not only when I go to conventions in real life, but I have this support network in virtual reality too. And I have new friends that I've made, and I can catch up with my best friends and close friends, and I can foster deeper connections with people that I already know. All of these things lead to better health outcomes, not just mentally, because if you're feeling loved and you have friends around you that lift you up and just make you feel good and probably decreases stress, which causes a lot of disease. So VR really is this game changer in terms of how I feel. Because now also seeing myself in an anthro form, once again, Kleekai did such an amazing job with this avatar, but being able to see myself in this anthro form is incredible. It's actually incredible. Nos Hyena, in a lot of ways, is who I am, and being able to look in a mirror and look exactly like my fursona and my fursuit in a virtual space, it just makes me so overjoyed because I can feel so good. Because this is a way that I can express my authentic self and be with the people who support me for who I am. So I'm very, very grateful that I am now part of this world. And this is only the beginning of the journey. Hey, I've had so much fun talking to you about why furries should get into virtual reality. Gave you 7 reasons, told you about my early experiences, and this is only the start of documenting my VR journey. So my name's Nos Hyena. Shout out to my super secret patrons. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Hey! Oh my god, can we make lewd art of you?